we're going to move on to our third song of the interview. And you picked Hate It Here by Wilco. This song represents your biggest on-air blooper. So
Yeah.
I hope it's a funny story for you to recall.
It is. It's a very funny story because I don't have any. I actually, this one isn't. I had a streaker once, but that isn't this song. So I was out on our plaza in Chicago when I worked at WMAQ, the NBC affiliate there, and I was doing the weather. And this guy, a couple of guys, walked past, and one of them yelled, "I love you, Ginger Z!" And I was like, "Hi." Okay, I was relatively new. I was like, wow, somebody knows me. All right, this is pretty cool. And but at the same time, I was kind of on, so I was distracted, and but this becomes a better story because that's not really like a full blooper. But the story goes on that then the next day, I'm at work again on a weekday filling in for the main guy, and I get an email from an unknown address, and it's a man that says, "Hey, I was that guy that yelled out to you on the plaza. Also, I just moved into a new apartment, and as soon as I did that, I turned on the TV, and you were the first person I saw." He's like, "I feel like this is fate, and I feel like we should meet." And I was like, okay. So I met this guy. So I met this guy, and here's where the biggest blooper comes, even though it wasn't on TV. And I was nervous because I had looked him up, like as much as you could Google back then. This is a long time ago. And I'm walking toward him, and I see him, and it's a hot day in Chicago, and we're meeting to have coffee. And I took the biggest spill you have ever seen in your life in front of this guy. We went on to not only date, but the second date, and this is why it's Wilco, he took me to a Wilco cover band. I had never heard of Wilco before, and I fell in love with the band. I fell in love with him for about a year and then moved on. But it was like, and still, not every relationship can you go back and say, it was a funny start, it was a fine end, and it was just a neutral, good thing in life, and I just think that levity of what that was in that time in my life is really important, and it all kind of stemmed from that first trip and fall.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I went on a date one time, and we were sitting there. It was a first date, and we were having a drink, and I cracked a joke right when she was sipping, and she spit the entire drink in my face. And then she started choking on the drink, so I was like, "Hey, are you okay?" But it led to a great friendship, and I'm very, very happy to have her in my life.
Those awkward first moments are just like, they're painful to watch, and we see them on shows like The Bachelor and stuff, and that's why it's always so cringy, because you're like, ooh, ooh, ooh. But I do think the most I got out of everything is Wilco, because they were just a fun Chicago band, and even the cover bands. And then he was in a band, so he sang it a lot, and I got to know the music.